Greetings from BSC Designer team. In this tutorial, we'll talk about frameworks for strategic planning and their practical application. In this diagram, you can see the ecosystem of the frameworks for strategic planning. The diagram is divided into four quadrants, and there are also three circle areas. The position of the framework in the diagram depends on its role in strategic planning. The inner circle is for the frameworks that mainly specialize on strategy cascading and execution. The middle circle is for the frameworks whose main application area is strategy description. Finally, the outer circle is for the strategy formulation or strategy analysis frameworks. The four quadrants of the diagram corresponds to the decomposition methods used by the frameworks. Typically, we talk about decomposition by internal or external factors, cause and effect decomposition, or decomposition by time factor. Some frameworks are presented in several sectors of the diagram, combining different roles in strategic planning and suggesting a wider set of decomposition methods. Another conclusion we can make from the diagram is that no single framework resolves all the challenges of strategic planning. For example, the Balanced Scorecard framework is a preferred tool for strategy cascading and execution. It also offers valuable guidance in terms of strategy description, but it won't help a lot with generating ideas for strategy. For that reason, we bundle the strategy execution frameworks with strategy analysis tools. Any business today is operating in a very complex environment where we need to combine several tools for effective strategy planning and execution. Some to scan the external environment and competitive landscape, others to select best growth strategies and prepare us for the impact of uncertainties, some to organize ideas into a comprehensive strategy, helps you communicate and execute it. What set of frameworks do we recommend? It depends a lot on the challenges of your company and its historical background with strategic planning. Here is our top 5 selections. Stakeholder analysis to understand stakeholders and their strategic ambitions better. PESTEL framework for analysis of external factors. Porter's 5 forces framework for analysis of competitive environment. The ANSOF matrix for formulating growth strategies. The Balanced Scorecard with its strategy map as a core framework for strategy description, cascading, and execution. The Balanced Scorecard framework is natively automated by BSC Designer. In other tutorials, we discussed in detail how to create a strategy map, cascade strategies, and other nuances about using this framework. In this tutorial, let's focus on using other frameworks that support the main strategy execution framework. Most of the frameworks from the ecosystem diagram are available for users of BSC Designer software in the format of templates. To access the templates available in BSC Designer, I switch to the My Scorecard section, click New, New Scorecard, More Templates. There are a number of templates for strategy scorecards. These templates suggest some common strategies that you can start with. For example, with cybersecurity or diversity and inclusion strategies, you will have ideas for some goals and initiatives. We are now interested in frameworks section. Let's select, for example, the PESTEL framework. I click Create to copy it to my account. If you are looking to revisit the theory behind the framework and receive practical recommendations from our site, take a look at our article on the subject. To find the link to the article, switch to the KPIs tab select the root element and find the link in the description section. Normally, we include some infographics in the article that will help your team to get started with the template. On the Strategy Map tab of this template, you will find the perspectives that correspond to the PESTEL acronym. That's the decomposition method the framework suggested for the external environment. Instead of analyzing the external environment in general, we split it up into political, economic, social, and other components and analyze them one by one. As any other strategy formulation frameworks, the PESTEL analysis suggests just general ideas. Use the experience of your team to convert them into strategic ambitions or high-level business goals and align them with your strategy. Let's take the climate change trend as an example. We can focus on extreme weather events and their impact on logistics. We can develop this idea further by defining stakeholders, adding more sub-goals, action plans, defining risks, and quantifying the value we create for the stakeholders. We explored this approach in detail in our guide for implementing strategic planning in complex environment. You will find the link to the guide in the description for this video. How to merge the findings of the framework into a strategy. You might want to create a new functional strategy scorecard, work on the findings there, and align it with main strategy later. Or you can align the results of PESTEL analysis directly with an existing strategy scorecard. In both cases, we're interested in linking the strategy to the results of initial analysis, in this case to the results of PESTEL analysis. On the Strategy tab, I click the Export button and then select the Target Strategy Scorecard. The software can copy a selected item into the target scorecard or create a dynamic link. In both cases, there will be a record in the history of changes about the origin of the item. This gives us the necessary contextual information for a case we need to get back to the results of initial analysis. There are some other ways to link scorecards in BSC Designer that we discuss in the corresponding video tutorial. In the guide for implementing strategic planning, we discussed the 4 typical challenges that strategy teams face. One of them is Challenge 3, Readiness for Future Challenges. We address it with various frameworks and strategy templates that help us create a more comprehensive picture of business landscape. Another challenge on the diagram is Challenge 4, having a single source of truth about strategy. Many companies follow an ad hoc approach in strategic planning that results in a number of spreadsheets and presentation slides that are hard to maintain. With BSC Designer, users can establish a single source of truth about their strategy by organizing strategy and functional scorecards in My Scorecard section. Here we have the high-level strategy attributes like mission, vision, and values. We can also organize scorecards into folders. For example, we can use a folder called Strategic Analysis to save the last versions of the template frameworks with remarks of our team. This way, you can consult those results when the rationale for a certain goal is not clear, or use the results of the last strategic analysis as a starting point for the new analysis. Let's summarize the ideas we've discussed in this tutorial. Strategic planning involves a combination of several business frameworks. No single framework can handle all aspects alone. Users of BSC Designer have access to strategic frameworks templates in their accounts, complete with links to explanatory articles. Each framework offers a unique approach to decomposition. Our objective is to translate the framework's findings into strategic ambitions and subsequently into goals, initiatives, and KPIs. Strategic planning is a complex discipline. Having a single source of truth for your strategy is essential. Organize the strategy scorecards and the results of strategic analysis in your strategy workspace for reuse and easy consultation of context when needed.